Have you ever found yourself standing over a treatment chair, watching your assistant struggle with a task you've shown them a dozen times, only to eventually sigh and say, "I'll just do it myself"? It is a common frustration in our profession, one that often leads to a resigned acceptance that your team has simply hit a skill ceiling. We tell ourselves that they just don't have the initiative or the intuitive clinical touch that we do, but I want to challenge that assumption today. If you feel like your practice revolves entirely around your personal physical presence at every single step, you don't have a personnel problem, you have a leadership problem. We often operate under the myth that proximity to expertise equals the absorption of skill. We assume that because an assistant has watched us fit a splint or take a registration for months, they should be able to replicate it with the same level of nuance. But clinical excellence isn't caught like a cold. It is built through a structured bridge between your expectations and their actual performance. The gap between competence and confidence cannot be closed through passive observation. When we fail to define the how and only delegate the what, we are essentially asking our team to perform a chaotic, individual experiment every time they pick up a handpiece. This creates a cycle of dependency where you remain the only person capable of maintaining quality, effectively capping your practice's growth potential. Think about the micro decisions you make intuitively. The specific angle of a ligature director, the exact force application on a wire, the way you stabilize the patient's jaw. These are things we do without thinking, yet we rarely articulate them. To truly scale your clinical excellence and move toward a practice that functions at a high level without your constant intervention, you must go to the Gemba. In lean management, Gemba is a Japanese term meaning the real place. For us, it's the treatment chair, the sterilization room, and the reception desk. It is where the value is actually created. A Gemba Walk is not an exercise in micromanagement, it is an exercise in clinical anthropology. It is a dedicated block of time where you step away from your role as a primary operator to observe the workflow in real time. You are there to see the difference between the ideal process you think is happening and the messy reality of what is actually occurring at the chairside. This practice brings you into direct contact with the operational realities faced by your team, providing insights that no spreadsheet or staff meeting could ever reveal. When impressions are consistently failing or a team member is struggling with a procedure, the instinct is often to offer more verbal instruction or express frustration. Instead, I want you to step into their shoes. Use the same materials in the same room. You might find that the brand of alginate you ordered is reacting poorly to the room temperature, or perhaps a distal end cutter has become dull, making wire removal an unnecessary battle for your staff. You cannot fix what you cannot see from behind a desk or from a distance. Oftentimes, what we interpret as a lack of talent is actually systemic friction. It's the 2 minutes wasted searching for a specific ligature color because the storage system is disorganized. It's the assistant walking 20 feet to an ultrasonic cleaner because the clinic layout is inefficient. In a high-volume practice, these tiny moments of friction are a direct drain on your profitability. 2 minutes of wasted motion per patient can easily eliminate an entire hour of productive chair time by the end of the day. These inefficiencies are the true cost of poor systems, often far outweighing the cost of the necessary equipment or training needed to fix them. By identifying these friction points, you move from being a reactive disciplinarian to becoming a proactive system architect. When you fix the system, you empower the individual. Implementing a visual management system or relocating a piece of equipment does more for your performance than any motivational speech or memo ever could. It provides the foundation for consistency and allows your staff to focus entirely on the patient rather than the obstacles in their environment. This is the cornerstone of dental leadership, providing your team with the tools they need to succeed rather than just demanding better results from a broken process. The transition from a firefighter, constantly putting out operational blazes, to a calm, strategic leader is only possible through this level of intentional observation. It allows you to provide feedback that is practical, grounded in reality, and focused on growth. It ensures that every corner of your practice stays aligned with your clinical vision, even when you aren't the one holding the pliers. If you want to move your clinic toward a disciplined, reliable autopilot, stop assuming and start observing. The journey to operational excellence begins not with a new mission statement, but with a simple walk to the treatment chair. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.